Alright, so my last video cut off on me. This is where we were at on example number 5. So just to catch you up again real quick in case you missed the first video. Over here I was just showing what happens to a scalar when we multiply it by a -1, or what happens to a vector when we multiply it by a scalar of -1. And we have a vector that's pointing to 3, 2, multiply it by -1, and it's going to then point in the exact opposite direction, but have the same magnitude. Okay, and then if we multiply it by a magnitude of +3, then it is going to be, the magnitude is going to be multiplied by 3. So it's going to be exactly 3 units longer and point in the same exact direction. So then we came over here and we started off looking for a vector that was 3 times as long as u. So we have u here, and then we discovered that s would be exactly 3 times as long as u and point in the same direction. So that's important too. Now we are looking for something that is equal to -v. So that means it's going to have the same exact length of v, but point in the exact opposite direction. So I'm looking for something that's that long, but is pointing in the exact opposite direction. So this way instead. P looks like the same length, but it's not pointing in the exact opposite direction. The only other one that's about that long is t. And t is the exact same length, and it is pointing in the exact opposite direction of v. So t is equal to -v. Okay, now we need to find something that is equal to u plus v. So let's find u and v. Here's u, here's v. So if we wanted to add u and v, we would start at the beginning of u, which was our first one, and then we would draw a vector to the very end of v, which is right here. So that looks like that would be vector q. So q is going to be equal to u plus v. Okay, now let's see, what do we need? 3u minus v. Let's find something that is equal to 3u minus v. Well, minus v, remember, we could say that that's the same as plus -v. So we need a vector that's the length and direction of 3u. Well, we already know that's s. And then we need a vector that is the same as -v. Well, we know that that was t. So if we add 3u plus -v, that's going to be vector r, because it starts at the beginning of vector s and it ends at the end of vector t. So r is going to be equal to 3u minus v, or plus -v. Okay, then obviously we know what p is, but let's look at it just in case. So p is equal to v minus 2u. So a -2u would be a vector that is twice as long as u, but pointing in the exact opposite direction. So if I drew in 2 vectors here, the length of u, but pointing in the exact opposite direction, now we wanted to add those two together. So we've got v and then minus 2u. You could also think of it as v plus -2u. Anyway, we have p that's going to end at the beginning of v, or at the end of v. So p is v minus 2u. Okay, and that's all for example number 5. That one is kind of a confusing one. You usually have kids with a lot of problems with this one. So just let me know if you still have questions on that one. We can go over it sometime during a live session. Okay, example number 6 is they give us these 2 vectors right here. They give us the vector of v and the vector u. And they want us to write this vector in some form of u and v combined together. So this is where it's really important to think of the slope. So the slope needs to stay intact as we go through it and use either one of these vectors. So this vector right here has a slope of 2 over 1. So rise 2 over 1, and it is negative slope. But see, that's kind of misleading to say that. We'll see how that goes. We'll talk about that as we go. And then this one over here has a 1 over 1 slope. Okay, so we want to write this vector in terms of the sum of these two vectors put together somehow. So we need to start in the exact same place as this vector, and we need to end in the exact same place somehow. So I need to go the opposite direction of vector v to get closer to the end of this arrow right here. So I'm going to start with negative v's. Okay, and so we just need to make sure that we maintain the slope. So going over exact opposite, let's draw an exact opposite up here. Okay, and so that's what we want to maintain, that slope right there. So we want to go down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, and maintain that slope. So these are negative v vectors. So negative v, and negative v. So it took 3 of those. And now I can do a negative u. So going the exact opposite of direction of u, but maintaining that slope. We're 1 over 1 there. So what we have is negative 3v's, negative 3v's, and negative 1u. So the sum of all of these would be negative 1u plus negative 3v, and you'll just put in the negative 1 and the negative 3 to my open math. Example number 7, we've got a vector with magnitude 6 points in a direction of 55 degrees counterclockwise from the positive x-axis. So we've got a vector here, and it's at 55 degrees, and it is magnitude of 6, so its magnitude, we'll call it vector u, is equal to 6, and its direction is at an angle of 55 degrees from the x-axis. So we want to find what the component form of that vector is. We are going to use the equations that we had. So x is equal to the magnitude, or r, which is 6 cosine of 55 degrees. Again, make sure your calculator is in degrees now. So we have y is going to be equal to 6 times sine of 55 degrees. So plug both of those into your calculator, and you will have the component form of 3.441 and 4.915. All right, example number 8, we have a person who leaves home and walks 3 miles west. So we're going to draw this on our coordinate plane here. Okay, so they are going to start, we're just going to say they're starting right here at the origin, and they're going to walk 3 miles west, the other way. So 3 miles west, and then 6 miles southwest. So every time we turn, we are going to think of having a little tiny, another quadrant right here. So just kind of think of this being another axis. Okay, so we're going to be going southwest from this point, which is going to be 45 degrees from the y-axis. So southwest from there is going to be 45 degrees from the x-axis. Okay, and then they're going to walk 6 miles. I'm going to go a little bit further. It's supposed to be twice as far. Okay, so 6 miles, 45 degrees. And then from this point, well, let's not talk about that point quite yet. All right, so we want to know how far from home is she in miles. So what we need to do is we need to find another vector that starts from where she's ending off and ends up at home. Okay, so for this case, it's going to be easier if we have our starting point here. It's going to end out here. What we want to know is the component form of a vector that ends right here and is starting from her home. So I want to know what this vector component form is right here. Then once I find the component form, I can find the magnitude of that. So we need to go back here and label our lines. We first started off walking 3 miles west. That gave me change colors again here. That gave me a vector that is heading exactly west, ending at -3. So I'm going to say that vector's component form is -3, 0. That gives me the magnitude and the direction of that vector. Okay, then this one down here, this is what we need to find now. I want to know where this point is that this next vector ends at. So this vector here alone, I'm going to bring it up here and talk about it, because I'm first going to just pretend that this is my origin where this vector starts. Okay, it has a theta value of 225 degrees, and it has a magnitude of 6 because they told us she walked 6 miles this direction. So we know its theta value, 225 degrees, and we know its magnitude. Therefore, we can find its own as if this was the origin. So we've got to be careful with that. That's why I'm not writing it down here, because it's not in place if I write it down here. Okay, this is a preliminary point that we're going to look at. So x is going to be equal to 6 cosine 225, and y is going to be equal to 6 sine of 225. Okay, so do both of those on your calculator. Let me see if I have those points written down. I'm going to pause, and I only did the end point, so I'm going to. Okay, so those are both going to be at the point -4.2426, because we are at 225 degrees. So both sine and cosine give you the same values in quadrant 3 anyway, and they're both negative, which is exactly what we would expect to see. So this is what that vector would be if it had started at the origin, but it doesn't. It is being added onto a vector that goes west 3 miles. That vector is -3, 0. So now we can add these two vectors together. If we add this one on to the end of the -3, 0 vector, then we will have this new vector. So I want to take -3, add it to my x value. So now I have -7.2426. And then nothing happens, so my y, I'm just going to add 0, so it does not change. And that makes sense because this first vector hadn't dropped down into the y area any. Its y was just 0, stayed right on the x-axis. So my y value was only changed because of the second vector, 2426. Okay, so that is our new component form for this vector that is starting at home and going this direction. Now all I need to know is what its magnitude is. As soon as I know the magnitude of this vector, then I know how far from home she is. Well, remember that our magnitude is equal to, I'm almost out of time, both of those squared and added together. So if I run out of time, you can figure this one out, square it. And then we are 8.3938 miles from home. And that's what I get when I square both of those, add them, take the square root. There's a second part to this, so I will finish up the second part to this one in the next video and have one more example to do as well.